We want to thank everyone for participating, especially our youth. I want to thank Chris Coleman for giving us time up today. He have a busy schedule, getting ready to fly up out of here to go represent our country. And Columbia is where he's headed to right now. Want to thank some of my players on the junior Pacer team for coming out today to spend some time with their coach. I'll try not to make them do wind sprints next week for this. And especially we want to thank the young men who came out to help pass the message, because we really didn't know such problems that we had on the system.
Eric Coleman, ladies and gentlemen.
Eric Coleman, right here with the ref shirt on. He don't know nothing about refereeing, but he does know how to make the community awareness of problems that we have out here. So, again, thanks to you all, and I'll pass it over to Eric.
Thank you all for coming today. I really think we had a special event today. I really feel like we had something going on in Grand Rapids that was very unique, because we got a real unique pool of people here that we learning from and fellowshipping with. I have such a great job, you all, because I get to work with people that I learn so much from. And I'm not talking about my co-workers. I'm not talking about people that I work with in my office. I'm talking about primarily the people that I work for, that I work to serve. There is nothing like having to adjust your life when things go wrong. This whole event was born from somebody coming to me and saying, look, I ride the regular route service every day, and basically I want to stop riding the bus. But you know, that really grabbed my attention when somebody says, you know what, I'm through with the bus altogether. So I said, why? And they said, well, you know what, it's those kids. Those kids. I want all the young people, just stand up. Stand up. I want y'all to understand something. When I said earlier that youth has an image problem, I hope you grasp what I was saying. Because you guys have an image problem, and we have to rectify that. But see, the fact of the matter is, you guys are where Grand Rapids is going. So if you're not knowing, we're in bad shape. We're in bad shape. So I want you to understand something. I hope you learned a lot when you got in those chairs. I hope you learned that people have to deal with uncomfortable situations, discomfort every day. Just imagine, you got to go to the doctor's and you got to ride the bus, and somebody look just like you won't give up a seat because they listening to Young Jeezy. Just rocking. Don't want to get out their seat looking at you like you crazy. Well, guess what? You got grandmamas, you got granddads, and y'all need to know that at one point you're going to be a grandmother or a granddad. Do you want somebody totally in such utter disrespect of you and your situation that they just look right by you? The beat on the radio is a little more important. Understand that Mr. Montgomery is I work for disability advocates, but he's a true disability advocate. He's going to talk to you today. He's going to breathe some understanding and knowledge on you, and I want you all to grasp what he's saying. Wrap your minds around the message for today. We're talking about transportation. Transportation is what builds the community. We have to get able to move goods and services, people, from one point to another. Otherwise, we become stagnant and the community does not grow. If the Rapid does not have a good service to offer the public, the Rapid dies, the community recesses. Understand your part in that. Right now, you're riding the bus. How many of y'all plan on driving soon? Raise those hands. Guess what? I rode the bus until I was able to afford an automobile. But I had to ride that bus and depend on that bus. And a lot of times, I would run across that person who had a walker, and they were on a bus that was crowded, and they needed some space. And I would always think about my grandmother, who had a walker for at least 20 plus years. And I would always say, I would hope that somebody like me is affording my grandmother the same space that I'm about to afford this person. So remember, we have a young man here, Josh Franklin, who's going to talk to you about living with a very rare disease that has kept him in a wheelchair. And guess what? Josh doesn't do a whole lot of moping. He doesn't do a whole lot of saying, that's not fair. Life is not fair, but it can always be fixed. There is no problem you encounter in life that cannot be fixed. If we talk about it, you'll be amazed what we can come up with. So without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Montgomery. Y'all can sit down. Who is going to talk to you and give you such an enlightening understanding of life on his end of things.
Thank you, Eric. I've been on the mic too much already today, so I'm going to make this kind of short and sweet. I just want to make sure that the message is passed on, that our system has done a lot to make people with disability capable of getting from point A to point B. They have put millions of dollars into these buses to help us to do that. Discouraging to know that when our youth are being cocky about the situation and don't want to give up their seat is kind of discouraging to me. Not saying that you young men are the one, but we're going to hope that what you learned today, that you will pass the message on to your young friends. Hey, if it's there and it is available, pass the seat on and be a gentleman or even a young lady and offer the seniors or the person with the disability the seat. Okay? You may not standing here looking at me and say like, who is this guy? 4x4, 4 feet tall, 4 feet wide, no legs. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of background as to who I am. These players you played against today, they came out of my stable. All right, I have coached each and every one of them since the age of 10. I'm the first inducted player in the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame, first wheelchair athlete to ever be inducted into the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. My mug shot is at the Van Andel, so if you're ever down there for an event, you can go and read my plaque and it'll tell you what I'm all about. But being disabled is an adjustment that I had to make in life. And it was no easy trail, it was no easy walk, but I made all the adjustments to get there, to get to where I am today. I appreciate what the city does as far as curb cutting, making life a little bit more easier to move around downtown rather than jumping a curb to get up on this curb. See, all those things is for people with disabilities, right? So we need that so that we can move on. I was born with my disability. I live with all the criticism in life, all the talks, look at that, look at this. You know, that goes in one ear today and out the other. Because if you're going to be ignorant enough to talk about me, to tease me because I'm different, then that's showing your ignorance. Okay? One of the problems that this city has had that really, really bother me is our youth on youth crime. That's the part that I'm having a hard time adjusting to. So I'm going to say unto you young men who are here today, you're going to be my word of mouth. Pass it on to your friend. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it because what he said, she said, to go and take another person's life. Because in all eternity, when you take a life, you also took your life, okay? So keep in mind that you are the future for us today, all right? You are the future. Sooner or later, you're going to be a senior and you're going to need that seat someday if you live that long, okay? So respect your elders. We from a different generation today. Back in my time, when I see a senior, it's yes sir, no ma'am. That's high respect. That's how I was raised. Today we got kids pretty much raising themselves. Sometimes you don't have that motherhood or fatherhood in your life, but that shouldn't stop you from being respectful to others. And that's the key thing. In order to get respect, you have to give respect. Acknowledge what your seniors are telling you, or your parents especially, what they say to you. Alright? Education, make that the top of your list, because without it, you're not going anywhere. Bottom line, without the education, it's not going to happen.
No.
Alright? So, reach high. Make your goals high. Alright? You take Chris here. Chris came into our program when he was 10 years old. Knee high to a duck to me. Alright? Now the young man is a Paralympic player, has his own business. Alright? That chair he's sitting in, he makes those chairs. And they sell it like hotcakes. $4,500 a pop. Alright? So he reached high for his goal. If he can do it, I can do it. And we limit it with our body parts, or we so-called disabled or whatnot, then you can do it. You have all the parts. The most important part that Chris and I have is stored right up here in the head. And you got that too, right? Reach high for your goals. Don't accept nothing less. Let's go to all you young people who's around here hearing this conversation. Life is good. God made everything for us to have fun.
Amen.
There's two doors in life, and then I'm going to give the mic up to my boy Josh, who just joined my team last year. There's two doors to life. You have the door of evil and the door of goodness.
Okay.
Evil doors consist of all killing, robbing, etc., drug dealing, etc. Alright? That's the door of evil. You might step into that door accidentally, not knowing what you got into. But you in there, but you don't have to stay there. You can always come out and go into the door of goodness and be respectful, not only to others, but to yourself. Okay? So, put God first, young people and seniors. I don't want to think we just picking on you guys all, because seniors, we have to learn how to give respect to you as well. Okay? And listening, being a good ear is where all that comes from. Again, my name is Lee Montgomery. I was born with my disability. I had challenges, and I learned to overcome them. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I can do it, I know you can do it. Okay? Here goes my man, Josh.
First off, I'm the same age probably as all of y'all. I'm 17 years old. Just last year I was diagnosed with something called Guillain-Barré. It's rare. Probably 1 out of 100,000 people get it. It's from any age bracket. But I played football. I was big on all sports, but football was major to me. And it was a big life change. I lived in Ben Harbor. I had to move here for rehab and therapy. And, you know, it was all about change. We don't have a car, so I take the bus system a lot. I get dirty looks all the time. Sometimes people don't want to get up for the space that they let out for the wheelchair, but there's no excuses for anything. Excuses are tools of incompetence. You don't use them at all. I just keep going with the flow, and I made the life change. It's hard for me to get around, but you just deal with it, man. In point of life, you're going to get a change anywhere. You just have to deal with it. No matter if it's taking a long way home or just little things like that. It's changing everything, and it's all about the way you adapt. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Lee. Thank all of you for sowing so much into today. I really appreciate the message. And it's a message that we all need to hear. It's a message that we all need to kind of rejuvenate ourselves with. Because we all make excuses, don't we? We make excuses on a daily basis. Oh, only if I got filed. But anyway, I think it's real special when a young man like Josh can tell you at such a young age, no excuse. All of you have unique skill sets. And tomorrow, that skill set could be challenged. It could be taken away. Josh, you played football, right? Loved it, didn't you? I can tell by Josh's energy, his fervor, in the way he went into that. That was his sport. So what he's telling you is, pull that. Understand this message today. Understand that transportation is an issue. It's only a problem when things like this have to get discussed. It's just an issue in society. It's just like housing or health care or an employment. But see, it's a problem when one human being does not understand the plight of another. Then we don't go anywhere, and Grand Rapids is not going places. So I hope that you guys got the understanding today. That was the goal. We want to thank Bill Kirk from the Rapid again. Let's clap it up for him. The Rapid is really doing their best to expand Grand Rapids. Division Avenue is one way, it's one corridor, but it's the start of something big. It's a tributary. Look it up if you don't know what that is. But at some point, Grand Rapids is going to have more access into and out of the city. That is a key component of that plan. But we want to make sure that the service stays up to par. But sometimes you got to just address issues face to face. Because when somebody tells me, well, I'm not taking the bus anymore because of those kids, guess what? Those kids are our kids. They're our kids. You guys belong to us. I'm responsible for how you develop, and that's the way I go about it. Now, you know, we heard Mr. Montgomery. Guess what? I'm sure y'all can tell he used to be something else another time. Something else. But what he's telling you is experience has given him a unique understanding and perspective on life. And he's trying to pass that on to you. Today you got a taste of, what if I had no legs? What if I had to just depend on my torso, my arms? Chris did his best to help you guys. I'm sure he was probably quite bored because he used to play at a very high level. Just like you would be if the roles were reversed. That message had to get through. You take that message and you take, when you go back to the high schools, some of you elementary, you take that message and you pull somebody to the side and say, we got to do better. We have to have more of an understanding. Like Mr. Montgomery said, give that seat up. Do the right thing all times. Understand that that's community. This is community service. Clap it up for yourselves. You just had community service today. A lot of you think community service is going around here to the freeway and picking up trash. No. It comes in a variety of ways. This is one. This is one. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank all of you who came sincerely. Disability Advocates of Kent County thanks you. The Rapid thanks you. Papa John's Pizza, a special thank you to them. WKTV, which you will see yourselves on for this very event today. Give it about 2 weeks. It'll air.
It'll also be put on YouTube.
And also YouTube. And let's give a special thanks to Doug Rowland, our tech over there, who you kept hearing like Flavor Flav in the background.
That's Flavor Flav. Snoop Dogg.
Oh my goodness. Channel 13, always on time. But no, I hope all of you have a great afternoon, and thank you again for coming.
I would like to thank Lee Montgomery.
Yo.
You did a great job.
Oh man, I just try to do the best I can to help the youth. I love the young people today. How will they learn to do better if we don't put out to them?
right.
But I want my Paralympic players to talk a little bit. I'm putting them on the spot right now because I didn't tell. You know, when I asked, I go, Chris, I need you to come down and help me with this expo. He said, well, but Coach, I got a lot of things to do. I'm trying to get ready to go out of town. By the way, he leaves tomorrow to go to Denver, then on the way to where? Columbia. He'll tell you what he's getting ready to do. But he said, okay, Coach, I'm going to squeeze you in. So I'm hoping he buy me lunch after we done. You know, it's been a long day. So here go my boy, Chris Coleman.
All right, guys. It was a pleasure to come out and show you guys a little bit about the sport. And yeah, Coach did put me on the spot. I was called yesterday and just asked to come down here, so I didn't know what I was getting into, and I'm very happy to be a part of this, and hopefully can impact you guys in a positive way moving forward in your ideas about disabilities and individuals with differences. You know, it's all around us every day, and we just got to do our best to accommodate those individuals and try to be the best that we can be to help them and, you know, impact others. So I always tell people, you know, to stay positive, because you never know who you're influencing, you know, and I hope that at the end of the day, you know, Josh's words and Lee's words and myself, we were able to influence you in a positive way, and you guys are able to take that and spread it along the community. So, you know, it was great to come out here. I leave tomorrow. I fly out to Colorado. I'm training for 5 days at Colorado Springs. It's an Olympic training center. That's where all the Olympians and Paralympians alike train at altitude before they go to the Olympics and every other event. So I'll be playing with my team for the next 5 days training, and then from there we travel to Bogota, Colombia, where we'll be competing in the America's Cup. So it's Canada, Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, of course, Mexico. And it's a qualifying tournament, and on our road to Rio, which is where the Olympics are in 2016. So it's going to be a long road. USA basketball is new to me. It wouldn't have happened without the positive influences I've had in my life in the form of Lee Montgomery and other coaches along the road. And, you know, you guys spreading the word can hopefully pave the way for these young individuals to maybe, you know, have the same opportunities. So, you know, hard work pays off. It really does. I'm a living example right in front of you of that. You know, I worked hard at the sport, and the chairs didn't hold up, so I started building my own. And now they hold up with, you know, 10 of my 12 teammates that are going to be going to Columbia next week. So, you know, no matter what you do, whether it's in the classroom, you know, in the working environment, however you guys can, just to apply yourself 110% at everything you do, and you'll always succeed, I promise you. So thank you guys. It's truly a blessing for me to come here and be with you guys today. And like I said, take everything you heard here and move in a positive direction with it all. So thank you.
Okay, folks, that ends our program for today. I tell you, you should have never gave me the mic. You all have a safe home, travel home, and may God bless you all.
Please give it up for Deshaun Saunders, who helped us capture this on video today.
Deshaun, raise your hand.
Our cameraman.
Raise your hand, the cameraman. Did you focus me in real good there, bro?
Right.
Okay,
you got your good side. You got your good side.
You got the good side. Cedriana and Kelly. Hello. High school. Oh, interns at Disability Active. You guys learned a lot today? Yeah. So you like what you're getting into? Yeah. Live with it. Go far with it. Thank you. Super intern Anna. Addie. Is she taking a picture right now? Yeah. She said hello. Demetrius, our big-time volunteer, helping us chase balls. What's up, Demetrius? How you doing? Shout out. We should have put him in a chair, shouldn't we? Yeah. We might still be able to do that, but Demetrius look kind of big. None of these chairs might not fit in. All right. Mac, volunteer. Thank you. That's one big thing that the community can always use is volunteers. Speaking of young people, get involved and do some volunteers. And we have a lot of programs out there that need youth volunteers. And if you really want to be great about doing things, if you have a senior in your community next door and you know that person have to do their yard, raking the leaves, shoveling snow, please hand out and do that. I did that for my senior who lived next door to me. All winter long, I shoved the snow off of her sidewalk, okay? And that's the senior that was living next door to me. Plus the driveway I had to do that on my own, but anytime I can reach out and do something for a senior, that's a blessing that God gonna give for me. I'm not doing it to satisfy no one else but my feelings and my thanks for that person for being who they are, okay? All right, I'm gonna give up the mic, let us get out of here, and thanks everyone for participating today. Again, Eric, it's a pleasure. This is my second time meeting Eric. It's a pleasure. I would have played today, but I'm on the injury list. My left, no, this is my right hand. They call me E.T., I ain't gonna tell you why, but my right hand is, I sprung my wrist. And then in wheelchair basketball, if you, in able-bodied basketball, if you sprain your ankle, you know what I'm saying? You out, right? Well, I sprung my wrist, so I'm out for playing for a couple of weeks. And so until that heals, you won't see me be playing for a while. But Chris, from the heart, I want to say thank you and good luck. I know you worked hard to make the Paralympic team. And I really appreciate you taking some time hanging out with me today. So you go and bring home the gold or don't come back. Yeah, you know how it is, bro. I don't want nothing less. I can't brag on a silver or a bronze, but I can talk big with a gold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so good luck to the U.S. team, man. Okay, everybody, let's clear out of here.
Wow. I hope you had as much fun with Skills on Wheels as we did. Two seemingly different segments, but actually one and the same. You see, at some points, juniors become seniors, and ability at some level becomes disability. We hope you got it today, and understand that as far as transportation goes, some of us ride it, but all of us need it. It's all about transportation. On behalf of Disability Advocates of Kent County, I'm Eric Coleman. I bid you safe travels.